Yeah.
Hi, it's Henry again. Just Jason behind the camera. First of all, I just want to say I love you, and you all are so precious beyond imagination. It's ridiculous. Right in this video, we're gonna be talking about addiction, and just I hope you you listen to the very end of the video and just have the time to hear me out. So, in my opinion, all addiction is an uncontrollable want. And we all know what a want and a need is. You need food, you need shelter, you need water. And then you start getting these things like, I want a car, I need this, or I want this, I want this, I want that. And you become so attached to them that you think you can't go on in your life without them. Therefore, you start putting these wants into the need category. And then once you do that, you start treating them as such as needs. And that's what I'm sure when the addiction starts. So, and don't get me wrong, I've been dealing with addiction my entire life, and I just want to let you know how I got onto this. The last few weeks I've been watching a lot of reality TV, as stupid as it sounds, but I've been watching Intervention, Celebrity Rehab, Sex Rehab, Hell's Kitchen, The Dog Whisperer, At the End of My Leash, Till Death Do Us Part. All these amazing shows, and that just show the real, how people are real. These aren't actors, these are people on the street with legitimate problems.
With real addictions.
Real addictions, and they have problems. So, and my bro made this crucial point in saying that he noticed after watching all these shows that everybody with an addiction had a problem in their past, and they were kind of in their own way hanging on to it. And some people had harsher paths than others, therefore you get different degrees of addiction. So, all these people that were stuck in addiction, they were all inevitably hiding behind their own problems with whatever substance they were using. And it goes for everybody. If any of you have a want that is now in need, I hate to say it, but you just might be hiding behind something. Whether it's maybe you weren't raped or whatever, you weren't, these horrific things, but there's still degrees of negative that just, getting raped is like 100 out of 100, you know what I mean? So what's 2 out of 100? You gotta just think of what these degrees of addictions are in your life. So, and then we also noticed in most cases, everybody that was really badly addicted either didn't think they were addicted or believed they didn't need help. And the fact of the matter is they couldn't see the help that they did desperately need. And it doesn't take the university degree to see how these people did need help. So
Because their addictions were affecting their lives negatively, and they couldn't see it as a negative thing.
So what we just need to remember is that a positive change is good. It's always good. How can a positive change be bad? It's just the transition that's tough. Once again, the transition is tough. That's the only part. For it is only the transition that is tough. Now, I know I can just say all these things and, whatever. Anybody can just start talking about addiction, how people can do this and do that. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you about the addictions of my life and what I've been through, just to let you know
and how you dealt with it.
How real this shit is and how it does affect people, whether you know it or not. So, these are lists of my addictions. I was addicted to alcohol. Maybe not an alcoholic, but definitely addicted to alcohol. Ever since I was 12 to about a few months ago. Couldn't help but drink. I loved it. I was addicted to drugs. We're talking, I started out with pot, and got into cocaine, got into mushrooms. And these were all just trying to, I can tell you that I was just trying to expand my mind and all this blah, 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 but we know at the end of the day that these are negative effects. Sure, I got some positives out of it, but at the end of the day, I realized that this is not what I was doing, and I was sincerely not benefiting from these things. Not only that, I was addicted to material items my entire life. I think maybe this has to go from being poor and seeing everybody else with all their nice stuff, and I just wanted nice shoes and nice TVs and want to get my car together and get my house together, and it was just really tough for me to not want these things, So up until
you thought you needed them.
A couple of weeks ago, I was addicted to getting these things, and the next thing I was sadly enough addicted to was the sexy sugars of life, and nobody wants to hear this. I'll tell you right now, not one person. Coke bottles, Oreos, cookies, the bullshit, the junk food.
Stuff that makes you gain weight.
1 second.
The negative.
You know when you have a cleaning product and it's got a poison label on it? Well, you don't drink it because it's got a label on it, right? Because it's going to kill you within a couple hours, right? Well, did you know that if you drank pot, that's all you drank was pot, probably in a few years you'd be dead as well? So whether it kills you in 3 hours or 3 years, that fucking requires the label.
It's an addiction.
So you got to think about the sugars in your life. And not only that, like you think, I work out and I do all these things, so the sugars are good. I work out and I keep in shape, but you don't understand that it's clouding your judgment. When you eat a box of cookies, I don't care whether you feel it or not, you feel like a bag of shit. If you eat a healthy meal or a bag of cookies, you're going to feel completely different off the two. And you guys know this. So just realize the energy or what you're feeling off the food you're eating. And you know how they call it comfort food?
Comforting yourself.
You're comforting yourself, which means you got hurt, I'm guessing. Like, the example I can use is people going on dates. Like, oh, I had a bad date, I'm going to go eat some ice cream. Is the solution to your problem really in the ice cream? And and you gotta take it a bit further, think of what is in the ice cream that you're looking for. Not only that, to go with the sugars, hate to say it, and believe me, this one got me too, was the salts, like my corn chips. I love corn chips. Not anymore, I guess. Apparently.
Fucking Lay's chips, any chips.
Salts. You know what I'm talking. The salty foods. I don't even have to go into it.
Sweet, salty foods.
Sex. Another one of my big addictions is I wanted to have sex with multiple partners. In life. Come on. Get real for 2 seconds here. Do you need to have sex with fucking 20 people before you think you found the one? Or you think you have to have sex with a bunch of people before you can settle down and say, you know what, I'm going to settle for this? All just in your head. It's an addiction. That's an addiction. It's got no label, but if you can't control it, that's an addiction. So just pay attention to exactly what you want out of a partner and what you want out of people in life. And I'll get more into that later. But next thing, I hate to say it, I had a personal addiction with masturbation and porn. Not that I was jerking off every fucking 3 hours, but like I couldn't go a few days without it. I would just, I'd make an excuse. I'd have to drop whatever I was doing and go do it. And then the porn, man, fuck. Like, you think that stuff's healthy for you? That person who's naked, they're spreading her legs, she's got issues. And she's only doing that to hide from her own problems. And just giving in to these temptations perpetuates the cycle. And then next of all, I thought I wanted millions of fucking dollars. I thought I wanted to be rich. Now, I'm a smart guy. I think I have an understanding of what's going on in this world, and I could make $1 million whenever I wanted. I know this, but now I realize